Hey everyone, it's Macy, and today I'm going to be sharing my testimony. This is something that God has been putting on my heart recently to share because the things that I went through are things that a lot of people go through, and I just want to let them know that they are not alone and that God loves them no matter what your past looks like or anything like that. He is always with you, and that He is here for you and He loves you so much. So I'm going to be reading this off my computer, so if I look down and stuff, it's just so I can stay on track and not ramble and stuff. So let's get started. I grew up in a church, but I was so young that I didn't really fully understand God. I went to Awanas and stuff like that in church every Wednesday and Sundays with my family, and I went to all the church camps that I could, and I still continue to do so. But the trials that I went through during my life were not easy, and they are continuing to get hard because as Christians we are going to face trials like that, but we have a God that is so big and so mighty that He can help us through those, and He is fighting the battles with us. But here we go. In middle school, this one guy would completely tear at my emotions and my worth to where it was so destructive that I hated myself in every way possible. He would tell me every single day that I needed to commit suicide and that no one liked me and that I was worthless. And with that being said to me, I struggle with self-confidence issues and worth because I was not like the other girls. I was always the bigger girl because that's just how I was made and that's how God wanted me to be. And after he said all those negative things, I would go home every day from school crying. I wouldn't do it at school because I wanted to show people that I was strong, even though inside I was completely broken. And I wouldn't stand up for myself because our parents knew each other and they were friends, and I didn't want to ruin that relationship. So I just kept quiet and I just let them keep on flooding my brain with those thoughts, and it was not good. So I remember one day in the middle class, he shouted, "Kill yourself," and then flipped me off, and that was when I hit a breaking point, and I told the teacher, I told the principal, because that is not something that is okay. It will never be okay to do something like that to anyone. And so I told my parents that night, and my dad called his parents because that is not something you want your kid to go through, and it's not easy for parents. It's not easy for parents or you to go through that. So I would believe every word he said, and it would I would take everything to heart, and it was awful. But things got a lot worse when I got into high school, and I fell into relationships that I was only in to seek acceptance or strive to be loved, and I was always wanting to fit in and to be a part of a clique. But when I fell for the guys with bad intentions, I would let them walk all over me, and then once they got what they wanted, they would leave, and I was so heartbroken, and those thoughts from middle school would creep back in, and I hated myself once again. And there were nights that I would sit on the bathroom floor at 2 a.m. crying my eyes out, and I had suicidal thoughts racing my head constantly, and it was rough. And I'm so glad that our God was watching over me, because I would not be here if it wasn't for Him. And am so thankful for that, because I wouldn't want my life any other way than it is right now. And so last November of 2019, I was at a church conference and we were singing Reckless Love, and I had my eyes closed and I had this vision of this cross in a field, and I was sitting there repenting because I was done living my life like that. I was tired of feeling completely worthless. So I repented and I gave my life to Christ, and we were singing Reckless Love, and the part that stuck out was he leaves the 99 to find the one. And that night I felt like God was reaching out to me, and he knew that I needed to come home because I was at rock bottom. And so I gave my life to him and I let him come in. And this was different from other church camps because I would always say that I was going to dedicate my life to him, but every time I got home I would completely fall out of my commitment and I would just go back to my old habits. So I am so blessed to say and so happy to say that I am not the same girl that walked into high school or middle school feeling completely worthless every day. And I know that I still have days where I feel like that, but our God is so great and so mighty, and he loves us so much, and we are created in his image. His opinion is the only one that matters. So I am so ready to see what God has for my life, his plan, and I can just say that I am doing so much better than what I was a few months ago, a few years ago, because of the grace of God. And he is so good. And I encourage you that if you are going through something like this, that you reach out to someone, because I didn't until I hit my breaking point. And it is so important that you reach out to those people who love you, because you have to do it before it's too late, because things can get pretty bad, and I don't want anyone to ever feel this way, and no one should ever feel this way. But God loves you, I love you, and I hope my testimony inspires you, because your testimony can inspire others too. And that's why God is putting you through these hard times, because your testimony matters. And yeah, so I love you all, and thank you for watching. And I will put my socials down below so you can reach out to me if you have any thoughts or questions or need any advice. Please message me, because I'm always here.